Imagine a US president's Middle East visit, unfolding not like a diplomatic mission, but a royal coronation. Fighter jets in diamond formation, gold-draped palaces, and a custom Boeing 747 gifted like a kingly token. This isn't a scene from a political thriller. It's the depiction of Donald Trump's extraordinary, and in this account, future 2025 tour. On May 13th, under the unforgiving Saudi sun, Air Force One descended onto Riyadh's runway. Instead of the customary red carpet, a lavender one unfurled, a color sacred to Saudis, symbolizing strength, resilience, generosity, and, crucially, royalty. To many, it was a color choice. To the hosts, it was a profound statement. Trump wasn't just a guest. He was being symbolically crowned, and this was merely the prelude. What ensued was a $3.2 trillion whirlwind of deals across Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. Defense contracts dwarfing historical precedents, AI infrastructure plans, ambitions to overshadow Silicon Valley, and a diplomatic pageant so opulent it made Buckingham Palace seem modest. Yet beneath the glittering surface lay complex legal gray zones, controversial gifts, and the emergence of a new American foreign policy, driven not by military force, but by luxury jets and economic seduction. The trip's final hours held a single silent gesture between Trump and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, that arguably spoke volumes more than any treaty. Riyadh, the lavender coronation, and $1 trillion handshake as Air Force One touched down at King Khalid International Airport, heralded by 4 F-15s trailing vapor like crown jewels. All eyes were on the tarmac. The regal lavender carpet, hand-woven by Bedouin women using ancient techniques, stretched from the aircraft to the motorcade. This color, officially adopted in 2021 for Saudi royal receptions, evokes desert flowers blooming in harsh climates, a symbol of the kingdom's endurance. At the carpet's end stood MBS, dressed in a gold-lined bisht. No speeches, just a traditional offering of Arabic coffee from a golden dala, a gesture of hospitality reserved for esteemed leaders. Trump accepted, a nod and a smile sealing the symbolic welcome. A fleet of black Bentleys then whisked them to Al Yamama Palace, a desert Versailles of crystal chandeliers and mirror-polished marble. Inside, the discussions quickly turned to monumental contracts. The headline, a $600 billion mega deal. This encompassed $142 billion for cutting-edge U.S. weaponry, a $50 billion Saudi Aramco pledge to U.S. energy infrastructure, including clean energy labs, and a staggering $100 billion investment from the Public Investment Fund into U.S. tech, real estate, and AI. Trump lauded it as the biggest deal ever signed in U.S. diplomatic history, hinting the total could eventually reach $1 trillion and create 2 million American jobs. Back in Washington, however, murmurs turned to outrage. Critics condemned arms sales to a regime with a questionable human rights record and flagged potential conflicts of interest, with rumors of private Trump-linked firms consulting on the deals. Supporters hailed it as economic genius. Opponents sensed a dangerous foreign entanglement. For Saudi Arabia, it was a calculated move to burnish its global image, casting Trump in gold and lavender. Doha, decadence, dominance, and a diplomatic firestorm. If Riyadh was majestic, Doha was decadent. Upon landing at Hamad International Airport, Trump was greeted by Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani in full ceremonial regalia. The true spectacle, however, occurred behind closed doors at the Emiri Diwan Palace. There, a brand new, customized Boeing 747, valued at $400 million and retrofitted as a flying palace with gold sinks and AI-controlled cabin settings, was presented as a gift. Only a fool would say no. Trump reportedly grinned. Washington erupted. Legal scholars cited the U.S. Constitution's emoluments clause, prohibiting a sitting president from accepting gifts from foreign states without congressional approval. The White House retorted that accepting the aircraft would save taxpayer money on travel, a defense that played well with his base. Amidst the furor, Qatar Airways signed a $96 billion contract for 160 Boeing aircraft, projected to create over 150,000 U.S. jobs. The gift of a flying fortress was less diplomacy, more a display of dominance, anointing Trump as a king of capital. Abu Dhabi, deification and a $1.4 trillion alliance. The reception in Abu Dhabi bordered on deification, as Air Force One, flanked by 6 Mirage 2000 fighter jets, landed on May 15th. President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, MBZ, architect of the UAE's global rise, awaited. An explosive Ayala sword dance greeted Trump, symbolizing the Emirates' blend of tradition and tech. Inside the opulent Qasr Al Watan Palace, MBZ unveiled a generational alliance, a jaw-dropping $1.4 trillion UAE investment into the United States over the next decade. This included $500 billion for the Stargate AI infrastructure project, backed by SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle, $60 billion for liquefied natural gas production in Texas, and a $4.5 billion aviation deal for Boeing. Trump, in turn, made waves by questioning U.S. policy on AI chip restrictions to allies. You trust them with fighter jets, but not algorithms. The comment signaled a potential policy redirection, seemingly influenced from afar. His allies saw strategic genius, critics a perilous dependence. The silent climax, a gesture more powerful than words. After 3 days of trillion-dollar deals and royal honors, the tour's most potent moment unfolded silently on the runway. As Trump ascended the stairs of Air Force One, the lavender carpet once again beneath him, he paused. Turning towards the dignitaries, particularly MBS, Trump raised his right fist, closed, confident, commanding. MBS responded by placing his right hand over his heart. This silent exchange, rich in Arab tradition, where placing a hand over the heart signifies profound respect, trust, and kinship, was a powerful conclusion. It suggested Trump hadn't just toured the Middle East. He'd been symbolically absorbed into a new economic alliance built on mutual wealth and advanced technology. A new paradigm? Trump's whirlwind Gulf tour, securing over $3.2 trillion in deals, represented a stark departure from traditional foreign policy. No invasions, no sanctions. Instead, economic gravity pulled the Middle East closer to Washington through fortune, not force. Diplomacy was conducted in designer suits, strategy wrapped in gold leaf, with AI infrastructure potentially replacing airstrikes. Whether one views this as selling America's soul or redefining the art of the deal, the image of Trump's fist and MBS's hand over his heart lingered, a quiet, loaded testament. It posed a fundamental question. Was this a turning point for U.S. foreign influence, a model of economic seduction for future presidencies, or merely political theater on a grand, royal scale?